Now we may have to stagger these a little bit, so when I open it up, when I do number 1, I'm going to do them, I'm going to kind of alternate them just a little bit. You'll see what I'm talking about. We'll just get as far as we can. We'll do the best we can. That's all we can do. So, open it up. We're going to put number 1 right here. And we're going to say f of x. Now, let me come back to Colby. I don't know if your classwork says f of x or if it says y, but they're the same thing. Equals 3 times x plus 1, parentheses close squared, plus 2. Now, when we had these in lesson 26, we said they were V's because they were absolute value. They're lines if they just have x's, like y equals mx plus b, the x is raised to the 1 power. So what makes this a parabola is the squared. It's back just like what makes it quadratic. This is a quadratic function. It has a squared. Is it going to graph a v? No, it's not absolute value. Is it going to graph a line? No, because it's got x squared in it. It's going to graph a parabola. Now, how do we do it without a t-table? Okay, let's go over here to the side and let's make us a little x and y graph. And the first thing we're going to do is state the vertex. And if y'all remember from lesson 26, we did just capital V and we set up our numbers. So positive 1, I always say the x gives you the x. So watch me. I'm going to draw an arrow right here, and this number will always be the opposite. I'm going to write opposite right there. Positive 1 will give me a negative 1, comma. I'm going to draw an arrow from positive 2 down to this one. I'm going to put positive 2, same. Close my parentheses. Now the next thing you want to do, are you good?
Yeah.
You see where those numbers came from?
Yeah.
Now we need to go over here and graph that. Well, this is your x. So you're going to go to negative 1 on your x-axis, and you're going to go up positive 2. We're going to put a dot right there. That's our vertex. Now, does this thing open up or down? There's your A right there. Is that positive or is that negative 3? It's positive 3, so it opens up. Okay, and I'm going to put A equals positive 3 so you see that. Now, let's talk about what we have to do with that 3. It's like slope, but it's not slope at all on this because these are not lines. It was very much like slope with absolute value, but we are still going to put 1 under it, and we're going to go up 3, and we're going to go over 1 both ways. So I'm going to say over 1 left / right. That's the way we did it before, so you have to remember that. So from your vertex, go 1, 2, 3, and 1 to the right, and 1 to the left. You cannot do more because these are not any kind of linear relationship. That's all you get. Now, can you make that curves? I'm not looking for perfection. I will help you if you're struggling with it, but I'm going to take that dot and I'm going to connect it like that. Remember, it's just getting wider and wider. It's not a V. It's more like a U. You just have to kind of get comfortable with it. It's really hard, but you'll feel better as you do them. Now, your classwork today is on graph paper, and I think all of you got graph paper slips last week. You should have some slips. Okay, number 2. I think we can do it straight up and down. We're going to do f of x is equal to, actually we're just going to do 2, so I think we're good to go. Negative 3/4 times parentheses x minus 5 squared. I want the vertex and how it opens. I don't remember if I asked you for axis of symmetry. If you did, we'll just have to add that next week. This is all I'm going to ask you to do to them because I want to get this done, and then I know some of you have some questions. Okay, you want to go ahead and draw your X and Y axis? Now, you might want to wait because it's going to be, yeah, let's do the vertex. Let's take the vertex, and that'll help you kind of know how you want to draw your axes. Okay, the number inside is the opposite. So what's the opposite of -5? +5. This Y is going to be the same as what's out here. When there's nothing added, what is that number? Yeah, if I add nothing to something, do I add 1? 1's not nothing, is it? What's nothing? 0. So that's an understood 0. Now, 5, 0 is going to be like over here. So I'm going to actually move my, this is the only other one we're going to do. So I'm actually going to come down a little bit, and I'm going to move my axes like this. I'm going to actually do it kind of off-centered because my vertex is going to be over here. You don't need all that to the left. See, it's 5, 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, A is -3/4. Is it going to open up or down? Down. Okay, now this is the one that doing it 3/4 will not work. It only worked with absolute value. So this is what you got to do. You're going to put -3/4 over 1. And you're going to go down 3/4 because it's negative. You go up if it's positive. And you're going to go over 1. And I'm just going to say over 1. You're going to go both ways. Okay, it is not a choice. If you do down 3/4, it worked with absolute value, but I told you with those, it's not going to work with these because they're not any kind of lines. They have no slope, whatever. So you want to watch mine? Where's 3/4? It's a little more than a half. So I'm going to go down a little more than a half. And if you put your little dot there, that's okay. And then you want to go 1 to the right, and you want to go 1 to the left. Now here's where people miss this, and it's hard because you don't know exactly what it looks like. This is going to be wider than your standard. So it's not going to be like this, and then people want to draw it like that. It's going to be a little bit wider. Let me show you. And again, I'm not looking for perfection. I will help you, but it's actually going to do something like this. And when we graph on the calculator, that'll help a little bit too. If you need help, all the rules are, and I don't have it, I have it glued in this one, but we did a lot of examples on lesson 26. And we continued it over here, and we did this one, and all this information right here, there's still one somewhere. There's another glue in somewhere that we did, and I don't have it glued in. Look at your page 63. Do you have a glue in on your page 63? Go to your 63 in your notebook.